So, just so you guys know, this is our first What in the World vlog. Our first vlog topic is none other than the Force.
Like, in terms of how it's actually set up in Star Wars. So, the first three kind of paint the Force as this, like, maybe mythological, spiritual thing, but, like, it's never really linked to religion, but yet it's kind of spiritual in the way that you interact with it.
I think, like, most people can agree that the Force has some kind of spiritual component to it. You know, there's, like, a lot of meditation, the dark side versus the light side, and a lot of philosophy that kind of floats around it. But I agree, the religion part is super muddy. Grand Moff Tarkin being like, you're the only one that's left of their religion. And that's, like, the only time the word religion is actually used. And the rest of the time, it's just kind of amorphous.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you have, like, the Jedi Council.
And the Jedi Order, which is
so
like...
there's structuration, but it's, like, how much of that is built around monks trying to teach you about the Force.
Yeah, and it's also kind of a thing, too, where, like, Han doesn't really believe in, like, the power of the Force, really. So it's just strange that the Force is simultaneously treated as, like, this thing that's in the universe that everyone knows and...
Or, like, may the Force be with you as a casual greeting.
Yeah, but then I think it gets really complicated when you get into prequels and they're like, oh, but it's actually this scientific thing where you have the midichlorians.
Much to fan chagrin.
It's something, like, in the world that can be, in a way, like, both scientific, magical, and spiritual. I kind of like that it exists in that way, even though I find it super, super bizarre.
I think that would work better if it was more solidly shown in the movies that some people view the Force this way and others view the Force that way. The movies seem to operate on this idea that there's a consensus about how the Force is perceived. Mm-hmm. There's nothing ever said that's like, oh, the Force is many different things to many different people. Part of, I guess, the spirituality aspect that's lacking.
Yeah.
Because when you talk about spirituality in the real world, it's all about, like, people's individual connection to whatever higher power.
Yeah, and I mean, it's like I brought up, too, like, they kind of hinted that, like, with Han being like, I don't really believe in your darn Force, or whatever it is. Like, I don't subscribe to that, kid. I'm, like, my guns and, you know, lasers.
My guns. And then Ben Kenobi's like, oh, blasters are so uncivilized, and then he goes and dies, and Han gets converted. So,
yeah.
There's a lot to be said about the Force and how it fits into the whole world-building thing of Star Wars. And speaking of world-building in Star Wars, our next unit is
Star Wars!
So stay tuned, you guys. That's going to be coming out in a little bit. The date will be posted below.
Yep.
And thank you for watching our first vlog.
Yeah, we hope you leave a comment about what you think the Force is or isn't. We'd love to kind of hear your thoughts on what you think about the Force. My consensus is it's weird. Super weird.